Vervin, live in Las Vegas, just arriving on the scene here, and it's still just a couple of blocks from where we're standing. You can see police have set a real wide perimeter around the Mandalay Bay and the concert venue where this took place here, and the investigation continues at this moment. We've learned a little bit just in the last hour or so about the guns that may have been used in this attack. Some 16 of them found in that hotel room, and we're told that police here in Las Vegas have been in contact with an Arizona gun dealer concerning some of those guns, some of which apparently were automatic weapons that can be fired repeatedly over and over again, among the deadliest type, especially when you consider the scene here and the attack that took place. Of course, all of us still trying to find out just why. What would cause this person to fire indiscriminately into a crowd of some 22,000 people at this concert venue? Jace Larson has more on what we still don't know.
This is the killer who police say had been at the hotel since Thursday. Stephen Paddock was a retired accountant. He was also a well-to-do man who had his own pilot's license. The FBI says he had no connection to any international terrorist group. Paddock liked to gamble in Las Vegas, his relatives have said, but he actually lived about an hour and 10 minutes northeast in Mesquite, Nevada. Paddock lived here in this retirement community. Police broke through his garage door as they searched his home. Mesquite police say they did find more guns inside. He bought this home 2 years ago. Paddock does not have a criminal history. The FBI also says he was not on their radar. Paddock's brother in Orlando seemed stunned when he talked about what his brother did.
Steve had nothing to do with any political organization, religious organization. No white supremacist, nothing, as far as I know. I've only known him for 57 years.
Paddock's brother says their mom last spoke to Paddock nearly 2 weeks ago.
It makes no sense.
Paddock does have a girlfriend. Police say that they have found her out of the country and they do not believe that she was involved. We are all wondering why this shooter would do this. Police have not said what motivated Paddock. Jace Larson, The Now.
Of course, many of us remembering that mass shooting which took place in January 2011 in Tucson, and former Representative Gabby Giffords among those who were shot at that moment. She is in Washington, D.C. today calling for more legislation to keep guns out of the wrong hands.
The nation's counting on you.
Right.
Thank you.
Giffords and her husband, Mark Kelly, were scheduled to be in D.C. today. They were planning to campaign for Virginia gubernatorial candidate Ralph Northam, but instead came to D.C. to speak out about the Vegas shooting.
Despite the tragedies in places like Aurora, Newtown, and Orlando, despite daily shootings in communities across America, despite senseless, deadly gun-related domestic violence, despite an epidemic of preventable suicides, despite the problem of toddlers shooting toddlers and their parents, the response from Congress has been to do nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Kelly is calling for a commission to work on solutions to gun violence. He says it's the only acceptable moral course for the U.S. Meantime, Governor Doug Ducey ordering all flags in the state to fly at half-staff today to remember the victims. He released a statement saying, "Our deepest prayers are with Las Vegas, all those killed and injured, and their families. We especially pray for all Arizonans impacted by this tragic shooting. This incredible loss of life will be felt by Americans everywhere. It's important that the victims, their families, and our brave first responders have the support they need as we learn more details. The state of Arizona stands ready to assist our neighbors in Nevada in any way we can." Arizona Senator John McCain tweeting out this message today. "Cindy and I are praying for the victims of the terrible Las Vegas shooting and their families. We appreciate the bravery of all first responders." Of course, President Trump offering his support and thanking first responders. The Now's Corey Rangel has more on his message of unity.
The President and First Lady leading a moment of silence to remember those impacted by the Las Vegas shooting.
It was an act of pure evil.
In a speech to the nation earlier in the day, President Trump summarized what so many are feeling today.
We are joined together today in sadness, shock, and grief.
During his solemn statement, the president mourned the victims and shared his condolences with their families.
We cannot fathom their pain. We cannot imagine their loss. To the families of the victims, we are praying for you, and we are here for you.
The president also offered words of hope to the rest of the country.
Our unity cannot be shattered by evil. Our bonds cannot be broken by violence. And though we feel such great anger at the senseless murder of our fellow citizens, it is our love that defines us today. In moments of tragedy and horror, America comes together as one.
And the president has ordered the flags be flown at half-staff until Friday. Meanwhile, he's now scheduled to visit Las Vegas on Wednesday. He'll meet with families of the victims, law enforcement, and first responders. Reporting from the White House for The Now, I'm Corey Rangel.
Meantime, a surreal scene right here on the Vegas Strip just less than 24 hours after this horrible mass shooting. This is a place that people go for fun, so you see a lot of tourists walking around, taking pictures, doing what tourists normally do on the Vegas Strip, yet just down the street, just the scene of the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. So quite the contrast here. I do want to make one footnote on that Salt River police officer and his wife, the wife in serious condition at the hospital. I was able to talk with the Salt River officer a little bit earlier today. They say it is not a good situation. Family and friends making the trip up here to be by her bedside, but it is not looking good for her. Guys.
All right, Steve, thank you for that update. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're certainly sending all of our thoughts and love to her this evening. To the Now News feed.